All right, guys, welcome in. This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and today we are going to be looking at the depth charts for the offense and the defense heading into the Florida game. I know there's been a ton of anticipation and a ton of hype, and I'm excited to break it down, talk a little about it. Before we dive in, guys, please make sure you guys like the video. Also, please make sure you guys comment down below. Are there any players you guys are surprised, either pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised, that are in here? Also, subscribe to the channel if you guys love Utah Utes football or just love college football in general. This is a great channel for you. And let's go ahead and take a look. So I'm going to start over on the left side here with Travis Broughton, JT Broughton. Some of you might know him as, you know, a guy that I was a little surprised to see as one of the starting cornerbacks. Not shocked, but a little surprised. There was a lot of hype around Smith Snowden. There was a lot of hype around Miles Battle. I'd say when you look at that left cornerback spot, I would not be shocked to see a little bit of reps given to other corners. Miles Battle, who's the Ole Miss transfer, is actually listed as the guy right behind Travis Broughton. So I'd say keep an eye on that. Definitely would not be surprised to see Miles Battle get in there, maybe steal a rep or two from Travis Broughton, or at least just keep JT Broughton on his toes. I've seen Travis Broughton have pretty good games, and I've seen him have very bad games. I've seen him give up huge plays time and time again. I'm not trying to bag on the guy. I just keeping it real. Maybe him getting this spot means he really earned it, and we'll see, that next step from him. So that'd be great if we could see that. I want to point something out here as we move into the slot corner position. Tao Johnson. Now, if you guys know who Tao Johnson is, he was a athlete coming out of Idaho. He actually came on this channel for a little interview. Super hyped for this kid, man. That is so awesome. I think the plan was kind of to put him at wide receiver, and it looks like this was just a better fit. When I saw his name on here, dude, I was so happy. Tao Johnson at slot corner is a really, really awesome fit. And I think that's really exciting. And just so you guys know, right behind him is actually Smith Snowden. So, Teo's got some tough competition right behind him. So he better go earn that spot and show what he could do. I definitely have a ton of faith in him, though. But, worst case scenario, if he does struggle, Smith's right there, too. I know that's not what Teo wants to hear, but I'm just saying for the fans at home. And then at the right cornerback spot, we have Zamiah Vaughn. Zamiah Vaughn, if you guys are a Utah fan, Zamiah Vaughn is a straight beast. Super good PFF grade. It's like a 75, 76, something like that. Really, really good player, and a guy that I think will do a very adequate job filling in for Clark Phillips now that he's gone. Zamiah Vaughn, if you guys were paying attention last year, Zamiah Vaughn came on as a star and really looked fantastic, guys. Seriously. I would just say do not doubt the kid and be excited. He is going to shut down number one receivers for opposing teams this year. So be excited about that. I want to take a look here, guys. You look at this defensive line, right? I think there's maybe some surprises, like Keanu Tanuvasa is a little surprising. And I think when you look at who's behind him, Connor O'Toole might be a little surprising, not a shock, but a little surprising to be in the top spot at left defensive end. But this is what I'm going to say. I think this D-line is going to look really similar to last year. It's going to be a rotation in and out. That's why I listed all 8 guys. All 8 of these guys are going to get a chance at a lot of playing time, right? I would say it's not even like I put 1 and 2 right here. It's not like the starter and the backup. It is going to be a heavy rotation of guys. And maybe as time goes on throughout the season, some of those guys will really solidify their role and make it clear that they're the guy and they'll get more playing time. Just keep an eye on that. Just give you guys an idea. Connor O'Toole, he's a converted player. I think he used to play tight end. Came on pretty strong at the end of last year. Looked really good. Junior Tafuna, not the greatest year last year, but a solid D tackle when he was a freshman 2 years ago. Looked really good and kind of a slightly down sophomore year, but I'd expect him to have a big year this year. Keanu Tanuvasa, a guy that really didn't get a ton of playing time last year. He had 41 snaps in total. So he's kind of a wild card, but on the 41 snaps he got, he did look pretty good. I think it was like a 66 PFF grade, something in that range. So just know he's not some slouch, right? He's a pretty good player. And I think it's, impressive that he's listed above Samode Pepa on the depth chart. I'm pretty impressed with that. And then we got Van Fillinger, a guy that had a ton of hype coming into last year, real similar to Junior Tafuna, not the exact same story, but a guy that ton of hype coming into last year, didn't quite live up to it. Had some good games, had some bad games too. Would not be surprised at all to see Van Fillinger come out and light it up this year. Ton of athleticism, really high ceiling with this kid. All right here, another point of why this depth chart doesn't seem to matter that much. Jonah Ellis is very good, guys. If you're not aware of that, Jonah Ellis is, I believe, the highest rated PFF defensive lineman on this team, and he got a ton of snaps last year. He's a very good player. I'm really excited. Look at this rotation, dude. This is going to be awesome. Logan Fano, a transfer from this previous year. He's listed as a freshman. I think he technically got like a medical waived year or something because of an injury, something like that. But he was on the BYU roster last year and then transferred over to Utah. Great highlights, great tape. I'm really excited to see what he can do for Utah. Tavita Fotu, not a guy I'm super familiar with. We can pull it up here. I got it all listed out. Tavita Fotu. Yeah, it looks like he did not actually get any snaps last year. So cool though. I mean, he must be doing well to work himself into the rotation. I think the guys that all of us are going to be watching on this depth chart are going to be Tavita Fotu and Keanu Tanuvasa. Just kind of see what they do. But this D line is going to be, that's a really good, even outside of the guys that don't have a big sample size in these two, the other six should be an awesome group to rotate in and out. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing to look at is going to be the linebacker room. So the stud linebacker, we've got Lander Barton. Lander Barton, very good PFF grade last year. I believe it was a 72, if I'm correct. We can double check that. Lander Barton, 72.8, 46 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 1 pass deflection. Just a really good player in Lander Barton. And I also think he's going to come in with a vengeance. I think he was, still new to the game of college football. When we played Florida last year, it was his first game ever as a freshman. He was starting, and I think it shook him a little bit, and he missed a couple plays here and there. And I think he's going to be excited to come back with a vengeance and kind of shut up any doubters. So excited about him. Also, we've got Karine Reed here. Karine Reed's a beast. He's going to be the rover linebacker in this game. And, he's going to be one of the star players on Utah's team this year, just like Lander. Last year, Karine had 72 tackles, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 1 INT, and 3 pass deflections. In summary, Karine Reed is a beast and a guy that I expect to really show up against Florida and throughout the entire year. Lavani Damuni, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with him. You probably haven't seen him play a lot, but Lavani Damuni was the Stanford linebacker last year, led the team in tackles, and now he is coming over to Utah. Just to give you an idea of his numbers last year, I do not have him written down here. That is weird. Oh, no, I do. I was going to say, I don't know how I wouldn't have him. So 76 tackles, 1 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, and 2 pass deflections. Really good player, guys. Going to play the MAC linebacker, be right in the middle of that defense, just ready to go, ready to clean heads. Definitely a piece to keep your eye on, guys. I would say his PFF grade isn't amazing from last year. It's a 61. That's not terrible, but it's not bad. So that's how I'd put that. And definitely a guy that I would imagine will be similar to Mahmoud Diabate, where he is coming into this defense. I wouldn't expect him to be a superstar right away. He could be, but he still needs to be groomed under Kyle Whittingham and learn the ropes and develop as a player. So just keep an eye on him. He could be a great player right out the gate, but that's definitely a guy to watch in the game. All right, and now we got two straight animals at safety. Strong safety, Sione Vaki. Free safety, Cole Bishop. Like I said, guys, real playmakers. We got Nate Ritchie behind him, too, so good group there. Who is the other safety in that group? Yeah, so Jonathan Hall and Nate Ritchie. So Jonathan Hall, is he a freshman or a sophomore? I think he committed last year. No, Jonathan Hall is a freshman. So we got, and Nate Ritchie, definitely, if something were to happen to one of these two guys, a guy that can fill in pretty well. Strong safety, we'll go over Sione Vaki. If you guys don't know about Sione Vaki, you're missing out. For some reason, I didn't fill out his info. I think he might be listed under corner, and that's why I didn't do it. All right, whatever. But anyways, he had like a 75 PFF grade last year, which is a super good grade, and he killed it. He was playing kind of slot corner last year, so it is a bit of a transition to strong safety, but a really good player, and I have no doubt in my mind he's going to kill it. All right, and then we got Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop, guys, if you're not aware, is the anchor of this defense. 75.5 PFF grade, 83 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception, and 3 pass deflections. This guy gets nasty in the run game, makes hard hits, good in coverage, a really well-rounded player, and a guy that if you are a fan of Utah football, you know who Cole Bishop is, and you know he's a straight beast. So super excited there, guys. Super excited about this game, guys. So that's the defense, and let's go ahead and break down the offense. All right, guys, and here we go. The Utah Utes offensive depth chart to start the season against Florida. I'm sure this is what a lot of you guys have been waiting for. I thought the defense had some unique surprises and some pretty cool surprises, but I know this is why a lot of people are here. So I'm going to point out the first surprise here. Not a shock, but a surprise in Spencer Fano, freshman, starting at left tackle for the Utah Utes. He's going to be number 55 when you go out there and you're watching him. So keep an eye on this kid. That's it's a big first game. This is a good Florida defensive front. So you're learning in fire. But I would say as Utah fans, we should be really excited by this. I don't think Kyle Whittingham goes out of his way to start freshmen. And I don't think he'd throw a freshman in here due to need if he didn't feel like this guy had some real that he was ready, right? And I'd say you look at Spencer Fano, dude, he's long and tall, but he doesn't look skinny. He looked thick, and the tape was awesome. He's a 4-star offensive tackle. So definitely a matchup to watch, but a guy I'm very excited about, and I think that's a really good sign of things to come that he's starting at left tackle. All right, left guard, we've got Keaton Bills, the staple of the offensive line. He's got about a 70 overall, very good. Started like every dang game last year and just Mr. Dependable. So definitely a guy I love to see in there. Johnny Maea, let's go ahead and pull him up. He's going to be starting at center. He's number 53. Where is he? Johnny Maea. Okay, so Johnny Maea had a 61.1 PFF grade. And that is a below average PFF grade. But let's look deeper. His run blocking was pretty rough at a 59.6, but his pass blocking was a 77, which is very, very good. So as a pass blocker, he's actually a very talented player. And it's not on a crazy sample size we're looking at here. So maybe his run blocking is a little better than what shows here. Maybe his pass blocking is a little worse than what shows here, right? But a guy that I'm not surprised to see starting again, and hopefully he's fine-tuned it over the summer and can be a good offense center for us in this game and in this entire season, right? All right. And then next we've got Michael Mokafisi. let's go ahead and check him out as well while we're here. So this is a little different of a story. Michael Mokafisi had some bad grades last year on a lot of snaps. This is not something I am super excited about. Don't get me wrong. Not trying to hate on the kid. Hopefully he improved and things are looking better. But if you look at Michael Mokafisi, it's a 42.2 pass block grade. That's dreadful. That's really bad. And a 56.2 run block grade, which is not good either. That's in the bad range. It's not as bad as his pass block, but it's pretty rough. So hopefully he's figured it out. I'm not trying to bag on the kid. Obviously, he earned a starting spot, so hopefully he goes out there and shows us why he did so. Now, Seitala Lomea, definitely a guy where it's a two stories on this kid. You look at the grade here, it's not good. 57.6 with a really bad pass block of 46.5 and a below average run block of 62.5. But like I said, we got to tell the whole story with Seitala. What it is with him is he switched to right tackle. He was playing guard and then got moved to tackle. So that was his first season at tackle in Power 5 football. It was a tough go. I'm expecting a good jump here. He's not someone I'm really concerned about. Got 948 snaps at right tackle last year and had a better second half. Like the PFF grades the first half of the year were pretty rough. There was some bad ones. So I'm hoping he steps up and shows out. All right, and then this was pretty obvious what was going to happen here. Thomas Yasmin as the inline tight end and Brant Keithy as the out wide tight end, right? So you knew that was coming, but you got to love that we're going to see both of them out there. Two great players. Thomas Yasmin should be one of the better tight ends in college football, and Brant Keithy has the potential to be one of the best tight ends in college football, if not the best, if he really lives up to his potential. Let's go ahead and talk about these wide receivers here. So I only listed one wide receiver for each position group, but I'm going to tell you who's behind these guys. So with Micah Pittman, he's the transfer out of Oregon, senior number 5, big time playmaker, Micah Pittman, a guy a lot of us are really excited about. Not a crazy PFF grade. What was it last year? I think it was like a 65 or a 68.4, so above average. And he was playing against some pretty good competition, so you should be excited about that. Let's just pull that up one more time. 32 receptions, 330 yards on 3 touchdowns. You got to be happy with that type of production being brought into your offense. Behind him, we're going to have Mikey Matthews. Mikey Matthews is a freshman that has been making hype all offseason, looked really good up until now. A guy that if he does see the field, I wouldn't be surprised to see him really start to make some plays. Okay, then we got Devon Vele here. Devon Vele has been the cornerstone of this Utah receiving core for a couple of years now. Really good player, 70.2 grade. That's a good grade. 828 snaps, 55 receptions for 695 yards and 5 touchdowns. What that means is this is the best receiver on this Utah team, at least production-wise, that we have right now. Devon Vele, definitely a guy I'm excited to see. And behind him is Munir McClain. Munir McClain was a tight end up until this year. So that's a little intriguing and a guy I'm excited to see hopefully get some reps. That's pretty exciting. And then we have Emery Simmons behind Money Parks. Emery Simmons last year, 37 receptions, 408 yards, and 1 TD. It's escaping me off the top of my head. I believe he's a transfer. I'm going to look it up real quick on my phone. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. This is the guy. He played 3 years in North Carolina and 1 year at Indiana before transferring to Utah. Another high-powered transfer, 37 receptions, 408 yards, 1 touchdown. Him and Micah Pittman are 2 guys that you're going to hope really move the needle a little for this receiving game. We invested a lot at the receiver position, a lot of young talent, and a lot of transfer talent. I'm excited to see what we can do there. Then finally, we have quarterback Cam Rising is listed as the starter. Now, I know that doesn't technically mean anything, right? That could just mean he's the starter if he's healthy. But if you're me, I think that makes you happy, right? Like at least that, like, okay, he's listed as the starter. That's good to see. And the backup behind him is Bryson Barnes, just so you guys know. I know there was some debate on whether it would be Bryson Barnes or it would be Nate Johnson. Bryson Barnes, consistent, guys. 75.1 PFF grade, 189 snaps, 64.9% completions. Good stats. Honestly, Cam is the guy. You look at Cam's numbers, they're way better than Bryson Barnes. But I would say, guys, Bryson Barnes is, to me, obviously the guy to be the backup, right? If something goes wrong, that he is the guy I want to be the backup. So I would just say in that case, don't stress too much. Bryson Barnes should do a serviceable job if Cam can't go for some reason. The next thing I want to talk about is running backs, and I listed both running backs here because I expect them both to get some playing time. We got Jaquindon Jackson, and we've got Mekhi Bernard. Mekhi Bernard's been on the team for quite a few years now. Really dependable guy. In total, like 847 all-purpose yards last year. Really good guy. And then Jaquindon Jackson, if you guys weren't paying attention to Utah football last year, you might not know who he is. I mean, I'd be shocked if you don't. But the second half of the season, Jaquindon Jackson switched from quarterback to running back, and on only 142 snaps, he was able to get 78 carries for 531 yards, 9 touchdowns. Just ridiculous. A 91.7 PFF grade. This kid is an animal. Expect him to do very big things this year, guys. Seriously, a straight beast. The other thing I want to touch on is Jalen Glover on almost the same number of snaps as Jaquindon. He didn't light up the world like Jaquindon, but you look at this guy's 81.9 PFF grade is nothing to laugh at. And then you got Chris Curry here, 84.9 grade, really small sample size, but the carries he took really did look good. Just so you guys know. And these 80 grades, guys, are really good grades. These are really good running backs. And then Mekhi Bernard, not as good of a grade, but he's there. He's an all-purpose guy. I still expect him to see the field quite a bit. I also just want to touch on this, guys. Going into this year, we have 3 4-star freshmen coming in Mike Mitchell, John Randall, and Dijon Stanley. This is going to be a monstrous trio. Think about those 7 running backs I just listed, guys. 7 of them. What a nightmare for opposing offenses. I really believe this could be one of Utah's best rushing offense years. I mean, look at that team. If this O-line can do its job, make it happen, and these tight ends can lay the wood, I mean, this could be real special, guys, real special. So I'm super excited. I'm sure you guys are too. Anything else I should touch on? Let me check one thing. And then you got Miki Sugataraga behind Thomas Yasmin, and you got Landon King behind Brant Keithy. Wouldn't be surprised to see those guys get some playing time too. Outside of that, though, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to see the comments, to see what you guys think about the depth chart. Please make sure you guys like the video. Also, comment down below. Which player are you most excited to start on either side of the ball that maybe was a surprise to you? I know for me, my guy would be probably Tao Johnson. I was pretty happy to see him as the starter at slot corner. I was surprised, but definitely happy. Also, very excited about Spencer Fano. So I would love to hear your guys' opinions, what you think, how do you think this team is going to do against Florida, whatever you guys want to say. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you guys love Utah Utes football, this is the place to be. If you guys love college football, this is the place to be. Outside of that, I'm out of here. Go Utes.